What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your daily astrology horoscope for Thursday, February 23rd, 2023. Astrologer Brian Scarborough here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. Truly appreciate you all. Hope you're all doing well. Did a cool live with Lauren last night. It was live with Lauren and Brian. Talked about some charts, had some fun, joked around, pulled some tarot cards at the end, put on some funky glasses. These ones. Shout out to Alchemize. I've had those for a while, but yeah, pretty funny stuff. So, I don't know. That's where we're at. Check it out if you didn't see it. And hope you're all ready for this Thursday. We're going to, of course, see that sun come to 5 degrees of Pisces. Just trucking through here. Feels kind of timeless, in a way. Like Pisces does kind of go outside of our time-space continuum. It's so far out, finishing things up. Very emotional, but also peaceful. We could be finding a lot of peace, or we could be on the far spectrum over there and just feeling chaos. And, don't beat yourself up if things are all over the place or there's a little bit of just whoa or unknown and it feels chaotic, because Pluto's at 29, Saturn's getting ready to come to 29 by the end of this week. So there's just so much on the edge, and it can feel like life is on the edge of a cliff. But for many of us, with Mars now moving in Gemini and at 17 degrees, there's almost like, and even with Mercury coming off the trine over to that Mars, there's something about being okay with, some of us are like excited to jump off the cliff, It's like we're ready to do the base jump. We hiked up to the top and we're like, yeah, the best way down would be this way. The most exciting way down would be this way. So some people are like ready for the shift to take place, and just kind of ready to jump. But I do think we are in a moment of like, it's hard with Chiron here and Jupiter. We can definitely think and believe that the impulse to just right here go for it, will be the saving grace. And it could be. These are things you're going to have to check in with on your soul. Your soul will know. I think it's just going to be an impulse, you could feel over the next coming days, or maybe even today, that feels consciously right. We don't want to self-undo. We don't want to, get to the top of the mountain and then decide, I'll, hurry something right now and then slip and then roll back down the opposite end when you want to go down the other side. You know what I'm saying? So there's a little bit of, it's a little wild, a little crazy, but also it could be very peaceful, very serene, very spiritual. But there is a lot of pop in the chart. There's all this Aries, this igniting energy trying to push us forward. But I feel like we have to be spiritually cautious. And that's all, I really can say about that, because this is going to be so unique on so many different levels for people that, there is an intuitive knowing. But that moon in Aries, right? Like it's feeling like what it needs, like what it wants to go do, how it wants to, make something happen, what noun, what action it wants to have. But that moon's the weakest planet in the chart, -5. Everything else is popping plus, even Venus. The sun's +7 in Pisces right now. Venus is a +4, because they're sharing that mutual reception of exaltation and also the trip. So, yeah, they're really helping each other out, which I think is we are at this place of, there's something about, I would say maybe just finding our wholeness, our comfort in the wholeness, without making it so much about the point, although we do want a point in life. And I think things have consolidated, but they're kind of like starting to open back up in a weird way. So we just gotta stay a little bit with Mercury here in Aquarius and Saturn in Aquarius, like a little bit non-attached, a little bit, that emotion, like the emotion's important. It's Pisces season, emotion's everything, that could be coming up right now. But we have to be able to like step out of that for a second so that we can make sure we're in the right place in our personal lives. Because by the end of the night, that moon's going to square Pluto at 29. And that's also where we're going to see a solar eclipse coming up. So, which will be April 20th or April 19th, one of the two. But Aries season. It'll be the end of Aries. It'll be May 5th. Right? No, it's right before Taurus. Oh, yeah, April 19th. Right? Taurus season starts on April 20th. So it'll be April 19th. So, yeah, it's interesting. This spot with Pluto. There's just definitely a major push, that wants to really go after something. And I feel like there are things in life that are opening up. We want to go after something. We're not here to be stagnant right now, but we have to be spiritually aware. And it's like that spiritual awareness mixed with that spiritual intellect that is seeing the synchronicities, connecting dots, will help us know where to be impulsive and where not to. Because Mars is starting to square Neptune again, so that's starting to build up over the next few weeks here. And that's going to be a hard one. We've already had it twice, and we saw the first station when Mars went retrograde. So October was just, Mars square Neptuneville. We're going to get, the final piece of that. And I feel like this one could be the most intense with the mix of all these other planets on the edge that can have us, feeling extremely vulnerable, or even not even feeling, just mentally vulnerable to attack. And we have to figure out some boundaries. And it's just like days like this where we're looking at the signs and being aware from a very conscious place, that is the impulse that's leading us and being very strong and powerful. That's very encompassing in a very positive way. But yeah, kind of a trip, just where the astrology is going. It's hard to, I guess, look at just the day when you know all this other stuff's on the brink. But I think today can feel, it can definitely have a level of intensity to it. The moon will make good aspects to Saturn, also with a sextile. So it is like the patience, which will be hard for this moon in Aries. The patience to look at the other understandings and to have that ability to be emotionally intelligent and disconnect a little bit so that it can really come back to itself when it's pieced things down and then act from that strong, mature, emotional place. And that is kind of the ticket, if you will. And we're also starting to see Venus semi-square the north, or I'm sorry, there was a semi-square to Venus. I don't know. I guess I'm tired. My math is wrong when I said that. So it's not quite there yet. Yeah. Oh, it's Mercury. Yeah. There it is. So there is that Venus semi-square Mercury, which is, I guess, interesting. I knew there was a semi-square somewhere. Emotions and mind being in a weird place, and that's, of course, where Mars is at, too. Starting to work over to that square to Neptune. We're just kind of in that, we're just in such an in-between, such an unknown, and that can take away from our understandings of ourself and the relationship to ourself, especially with Venus dispositing the North Node. So, I mean, honestly, it is that North Node energy. It's like, take it slow, but at the same time, like, there are moves to make, and that's because the dispositor is in Aries. Where, yes, it's a detriment, but again, the sun's helping it out in Pisces, saying if it comes from the soul, you have the power to act. And you can do that, especially if it's focused on more of an encompassing relationship to self, to help you build, to help you grow. Maybe not in a rushing manner, but definitely in a start kind of point manner. You know, it's not so much of like just starting the sprint, which Aries can do, but, you know, staying on pace and continuing to move forward as best we can will bring a good identification to any sort of relationship, to anything, ourself, outside of ourself, that we could possibly need. It's right there. Just we have to think a little bit because there's a lot going on emotionally. It could be kind of pushy. Oh, got stuck. So I hope you all have a great Jupiter day. Wishing you all the best as always. This deck is so hard to shuffle. It's so stiff. It's thick stiffy. It is, though. See if I can get at least a couple good ones on this thing. There we go. All right. I did shuffle a little bit before this, so it's pretty shuffled up. I'll cut twice. Why not? Let's see what we get. Feels right. I did an extra one because it just felt right. We got the Lovers. I knew it was a good idea. I think there can be a big emphasis on finding love today. Maybe that's the identification point. Maybe it is this like unconditional sort of aspect of finding love within ourselves, working with our dark side, working with our light side, coming to this very alchemized point that we need both to come together to really fully encompass and experience our realities. And the King of Wands. Ruler of Wands, got to be the King of Wands. Yeah, it's got a crown. It's like a very mature, again, it's a very mature place of knowing where to put your fire, where to put your passion, put your energy. That's where, by understanding that mature place of where you put your energy right now, that's saving us from self-undoing. That's saving us from some crazy traumatic something in life. It's putting us on a better path. So again, the soul kind of knows, and the alchemization of the dark and the light that we've all had to do throughout our whole lives, and maybe expedited recently. But coming to that place of feeling like you're in a mature place of power with your energy. So what you do with your energy is very important today. And the Nine of Cups. So funny, right? Kind of like being able to really self-soothe, really feel embodied with what's going on inside of you. All feelings, all emotions, being able to take the accountability for what's going on. More of that very like emotional, mature kind of place here, but that's where it's at. We can have some amazing times right now, and especially on this Thursday, if we can come to the right level of detachment and the right level of, commitment and putting our energy into the right place. There's an infinite number of possibilities, and it's about understanding that and knowing that you have that power, but you have to, I guess, come back and realize your power and come back and realize that alchemy to come to that kind of all-encompassing, I'm solid, I'm here, I'm good. And I have a lot of magic within me. And you do. So, hope you feel that way today. Love you all very much. Wishing you all the best. And I will see you tomorrow for Friday's horoscope. Much love. Peace.